Thank you, thank you. So I really struggled with my mental health during the pandemic, and I know a lot of people did, but I actually had to go to a psych ward for 5 days. And that was probably the most bittersweet experience of my life. Because on one hand, I'm like, I'm in a mental institution. Things obviously aren't going well right now. This isn't good. But on the other hand, it was really nice to finally be the best looking guy in a group of people. For once, that was pretty cool. I know I'm not much to look at right now, but I'm a psych ward 9 is what I found. I'm a bit of a snack in there. They don't take away shoelaces from guys much better looking than me, so that was a nice little boost to the ego. I do know how I look. I'm bald, I have this mustache. I mainly get positive feedback on the mustache, but I had it for about 6 months. I ran into a woman I used to work with that had never seen me with it before, and the first words out of her mouth are, she goes, "Oh my God, Brad, you look like a child molester." That's what she said to me. And in a weird way, she was trying to be nice by saying that, because what she meant was, "Hey, Brad, you look unattractive with that mustache. I think it's ugly on you." Because when a woman says you look like a child molester, they're basically just saying you're unattractive. But in her mind, it was like, you know what? It'd be too mean to call Brad ugly right now. I don't want to do that. I'll just soften the blow and call him one of the worst things you can be in society. That's a much nicer thing to say right now. And I got upset because I could never say that back to her. Like, no matter what she had done with her hair, what she was wearing. And I know women have a lot to worry about when it comes to their appearance, but it's pretty nice that you guys don't have an aesthetic that makes you look like a child molester. That doesn't exist for women. Because when I said it at the beginning of this joke, everyone laughed because you're like, yep, he does. Kind of like you got it right away. But you never hear someone go like, "God, what's up with that blouse, Debbie? Do you fuck kids?" Jeez, that's what you decided to... So that's good. I don't have any kids of my own. I know that's not the best segue into this joke, but no kids of mine. I can't really afford kids. My girlfriend, her brother and his wife, they have 4 kids. And they make so much money. They're these people, I don't know if you've seen them, they refer to their kids as blessings. I don't know if you've seen people that do that before. And you want a lot of those. Apparently you want a lot of blessings. Hey, they have the money, good for them, blessings. But when you're in the tax bracket that I'm in, I can't look at kids like they're blessings. Like, I have to treat potential children the same way I would treat getting a DUI, if that makes any... It's the same thought process where it's like, all right, man, you had one, you made a mistake, you screwed up, but just don't do it again. Just be smarter from here on out. 2? Are you serious? My God, how irresponsible can you be? Your whole life is paying for this now. I hope you know that. I think you proved to everyone you can't have fun. Jesus, with the 3? Are you kidding me? Oh my God. All right, the only way the situation is going to get better for anyone, you're going to have to go to jail for a little bit. That's the only way you're going to learn. No kids. I do have a dog, though. And if I'm being honest, I can barely afford my dog. He's pretty expensive, too. I had to take him to the vet recently, and the vet comes in and he tells me that he has a heart murmur. And he's like, on dogs, you rate those on a scale from 1 to 6. I would call his about a 4. So you can go get a second opinion. I always think that's a good idea. Or you can get him this thing called an echocardiogram. And those run anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000. That's what he said. And when he said $2,000, he just saw my face. And then he just kind of paused and went, "Hey, or you don't have to do anything, man. I'm sure it's going to be fine. What's a little heart murmur? Come on, he's going to live forever." Because he could just tell, he's like, "Oh, this guy doesn't have $2,000 lying around. I don't want to make him feel bad. Let's just get him out of here and hope for the best." And like, I have friends that can afford amazing health care for their dogs. I have a friend named Connie, and she tells me the story one time about how 3 separate times she spent $4,000 on spinal taps for her golden retriever. Yeah, so it's $12,000. And as she's telling me this, I'm like, Connie, I'm selling Molly to middle school kids so that I can pay for my antidepressants. Like, I had to get a root canal last year. I had to start an OnlyFans. For God, we know that didn't. Hey, Connie, let me be your dog. I'll sleep in a kennel in your house. You want me to shit on your front lawn? Is that? Hook it up. You got money like that to blow? Jeez. Do have a girlfriend that I love very much. My girlfriend's a big feminist, and recently she had 4 of her women friends over, and they were all talking about Lorena Bobbitt. Do you guys remember who Lorena Bobbitt was? My girlfriend's telling the story about it. If you're not familiar, it was a woman in the early 90s. She had an alcoholic, abusive husband. So one night while he was passed out, she cut his dick off and then got in her car, threw it out the window. That's what she did. And my girlfriend and all of her friends, they were wooing. Yeah, they're talking about it from a feminist perspective. They're like, good for her. And I'm just kind of hanging around the conversation. They're like, hey, Brad, how do you feel about what she did? And I'm such a guy, I only look at it from a male perspective, that all I could think was, man, I just wish my dick was big enough that when you cut it off, you could throw it. That's all. I'm like, she threw it? Like a jab. Like, my girlfriend would have a hard time throwing my penis out of a moving window. Like I don't know if you've ever flicked a cigarette on the high, where she's like, I think it's back in the car. I don't think it got out. And I'm like, it's too bad they didn't find this thing. It sounds like it was pretty big. She's like, no, they found it. I'm like, oh my God, it was so big they found it. Can you imagine your dick was so big they could find it? Jesus, what a lucky guy. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of the show. Elliot Woolsey.